if we start understanding something very important, is that no matter what we share, we're all very different. You know, no matter how different are we, but there is something that we all want. There is something that has to do with like when we're born and you start to learn from your parents and for things, you start to observe. And I think that observation has to do like we all want to connect in a more natural way, in a simpler way. And if you think back, you know, all of you, whichever age you are, how do you work with things 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? How your parents were learning, how you do it now, how your kids, if you have kids, how you start to do it. You start to understand how humanity evolves, how the whole idea of like the connection between people, the way that you can start to really tell someone, not only when you are face to face, because that's a challenge for us as exactly how we start to be far from each other. And it has to do with that observation of the everyday life. You know, the way that I wake up, the way that when I wake up, nowadays, for years and years I used to wake up with an alarm clock, my grandmother, my mother, my parents. But it's like now, if I want to snooze, and I love to sleep, actually, overslept today, typical. It's just like you turn it and you snooze it. So it becomes a natural. I don't need to touch, and it was like, change the time and do strange things. No, it's just like snoozing naturally by behavior. So understanding those moments, the moments like how people, when they're having breakfast with someone, hello, what do they want to see? When they close the door and you feel like suddenly you are changing, from your environment into the society, to the world. Suddenly you are outside of your home. You are not protected anymore. So understanding those moments is what it makes us really create the stories that they are relevant to the people that we are designing for. And when you want to have a design mission, an agenda, we have more than 320 designers, product designers, interaction designers, color materials designers, packaging designers, sociologists, anthropologists. They are not the normal ones. They are always there. You start to develop that talent in a way, and that makes it very unique. If you want to share a design agenda with all of these people that we come from more than 40 nationalities, we need to understand that we are creating a future. We are making how people will connect, will communicate, will wake up, will have fun, will create content, will tell each other I love you, will tell each other, like, get off, will start to find new ways of how to do things, how to actually work, how to actually, meet someone else, how to really actually move to another place. And understanding that is where we start. We start understanding the people. And I always like to say, not because I'm from Buenos Aires and I love football, but the moment that we are having on that t-shirt for 90 minutes, 15 minutes, 120, and then it's over, it's the only limit that we all are the same. In general, we're all different, and we all want to have our own way of being, our own motivation. We all feel that way, and that's the right thing. So understanding how do we develop ourselves as professionals, that we can develop the intuition. Because intuition is like, we all can find exact science. 1 + 1 is 2, right? But actually for a designer we need a 1 + 1 is 3. Not because it's just more, it's because it's different. 2 minds together. If I'm working with you, I don't want that it give us, a monster of 2 heads. We want that it give us a third perspective, a different approach of your talent, my talent, her talent. And understanding that is the magic of how a design team is created, like in this case in Auto Design, where we do have the best world-class designers. And it's not that you find them in universities, you need to make them. You need to listen many good designers, they can draw very beautiful things, they can design furniture, they can design many things. But understanding to whom, to which situation, and how do you project it into the future, to then innovate, that's not easy, I tell you. It's fun. And that's why we try to develop those stories, in the beginning, by observing society, by understanding that they are relevant for them. But what do we find? Once I was telling to one of the journalists in Mumbai, there was this guy, 29-year-old, who was a young journalist, like, you know what I want? It's like, I want the most personal computer, told me. And he's like, I want to have it next to me, and I want to have, the whole, big screen there, and it's being better. Maybe we actually end the most personal computer. And he doesn't need the other one. He can also use big screen. So understanding those insights is what it makes us to create and innovate things. And I'd like to show this because the people that we are designing, those digital natives, people that there are over 200 million in the whole world, that they want to have a Nokia Siri. They love it for what it can do. They love it for they can really take their way of being and actually bring it to the next level. They want it because they are not just about going from A to B. It's about understanding that on the way, on the move, and they like to do other things, communicate. And that's a start to show people, I like to say about the Web3.com, that start to have the story of, not about the community side, but your own story of like where I'm coming, my memories, my past, my story, my history, my present. How do I stream? How do I share? How do I broadcast? How do I tell? And more interesting, my future, where she's going. The future, how do I forecast? I anticipate my group of people, what am I going to be doing? And that's amazing because you start to think about this about serendipity. The casuality, there is no casuality. And those moments are essential in the kind of the creative process that we can have. Now we think about people and numbers. There are many ways how to think people and numbers. Numbers are statistics, are much, many. For designers are much more than that. Numbers are behaviors, are what people is doing. And this is anecdotic. It doesn't matter that it's more than 20 million pictures that people have loaded in Flickr. One thing is like the uploading, again, a behavior I want to share. But the most important, when people place a picture, they first took it, and how do I take a picture in Flickr? I think about my community, my people. There is a reason why I want to make a picture there. Because what I want is to tell about my people. What am I doing? When I make a picture of this funny detail, because actually my group of people is we all making pictures of reflectors. And they saw it. Media was, is, and it is social. The reason, the motivation. That's amazing when you think about it, because it's more powerful. The idea that you can record 16:9 movies. Again, it's not just to be a filmmaker, but it's to start to bring movement and start to tell stories. When you start to stream, like in applications like Kik, for example. So that's where it starts to read. 1.9 billion people place pictures, again, behavior, to share with their group, with their friends. An amazing one about tagging, about labeling, giving digital identity, putting the name of someone. My friend was here, so in years from now we can track all that because they already have the person who it is. So without knowing, we start to actually help with this behavior to have a digital story to tell, a digital life that is more important. It's not that relevant as digital or physical because both they will seamlessly or sinful, they will integrate. And more important, that's why we have a digital quality. That's why we want to understand more than 9 hours per minute around level that you the behavior of the media. Not everyone needs to do this, but we want to watch. We want to watch different things. We want to watch short things, we want to watch long things. We want to be able to understand that when we watch, it's not just only me, but it's about obviously sharing maybe. It's about maybe chatting at the same time that we're viewing the same in real time without your QWERTY, bothering 2/3 of the screen. So understanding those moments is how a designer start to think about it, how this could be really relevant to which product, how it should be that product. And more important as a challenge, over 1 billion people use Nokia as a platform of communication. So that's an opportunity. It's a huge challenge. How do we connect them all? The most beautiful they are. And the potential, how do we bring Nokia as Nokia Series designer to the next level of communication? And for that we understood that we said observation, see what happens in society.